Dear investors and friends, on behalf of Katapult Ocean, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our annual Investor Day. 2025 has been a busy year for us at Katapult. Our portfolio of 90 ocean ventures across the globe is thriving. They're raising rounds, securing contracts, partnerships, expanding across the world, and creating real positive impact. You can read more about them in our annual impact report. Link is in the chat. In keeping with our reputation for being one of the world's most active ocean impact funds, we've added 15 new companies to our Katapult Ocean portfolio this year. 13 of them you'll meet today, and they've joined our accelerator program, and you'll meet them shortly. We also announced several partnerships this year, and one big one in Asia is with Octave Capital, where we are launching our first regional fund. We will also continue our work with NORAD and Ocean of Africa on the continent to discover, develop, and support companies emerging from the African continent. And our mission is simple: deploying capital, capability, and build community where we can collectively drive most ocean impact. Naturally, our team grew significantly in 2025 to match that ambition. And our team expanded across our offices here in Oslo, but also in Singapore and in Cape Town. At the UN Ocean Conference in Nice, we hosted our first Impactful Innovations Day. It was the single largest private event during the whole week, and we brought over 1,000 people, partners and investors and ventures in the blue economy stakeholders to share ideas around our oceans and what's needed most: scalable solutions with measurable impact that improves the economy, aligning finance and supporting the growth. Our next year's edition will be at the Katapult Future Fest in Amsterdam in May. Save the date. This was also a year of new partnerships and powerful recognition. We announced a collaboration with OceanX to advance ocean exploration and protection, pairing scientific knowledge with entrepreneurial innovation. And also, as a close partner with the Earthshot Prize by Prince William, we're proud to already have 2 winners from our portfolio. And this year, our portfolio company Matter was also named as a finalist to the prize. Lastly, Sway, Flotion, and Corvita was honored amongst Time's best new innovations in 2025, a testament to what our mission-driven founders can achieve with the right support. We also made 2 new investments from our Katapult Ocean outside of our traditional accelerator cohort. The first into Bedrock Ocean, which is democratizing seafloor data with low-cost, rapidly deploying fleets of autonomous vehicles. We will soon announce the second company, which is at the forefront of shipping wind propulsion, presenting an exciting pathway to drive fuel emissions reductions, and it scales across commercial shipping. These are the kinds of scalable infrastructure-grade solutions we believe will define the next decade at sea. Last but not least, we launched our Ocean System Change Navigator, the first holistic ocean system change investment work to date. Learn more about their work in the link in the chat, but also reach out to us if you would like to know more. We will discuss more shortly and integrate into investment activities and accelerate system change level across the blue economy. Our goal is not only to back great companies, but also help catalyze markets, standards, and coalitions that make ocean positive outcomes the default, not the exception. Thank you for being here. It means a lot to us that you spend the time with us and our Katapult Ocean community. In a few minutes, you'll meet our 13 new founders. Their teams are turning ocean-scale challenges into deployable solutions. Please also remember that after the pitches, we will have breakout rooms available where you can meet the founders live, ask them questions. So please stick around for that as well. But first, we're honored to have a close friend and a fellow ocean champion to set the stage. Please welcome Vidar Helgesen, Executive Secretary of the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission and Assistant Director General of UNESCO. He will share his perspectives on the state of the ocean and ocean policy today, and the importance of backing innovation, ocean innovation. He will also touch on the outcomes we can expect when we commit to systems-level change in the ocean economy.
Dear friends of the ocean, friends of ocean innovation and ocean investment. We all know that the ocean covers about 70% of the planet's surface. But not so many are aware that it's actually 95% of our biosphere, of our life support system. And still, less than 20% of the ocean has been explored. So when I'm often asked, what is the state of the ocean? The first answer is that to a large extent, we don't know. But we know a fair bit. We know it's getting warmer, more acidic, more polluted. We know it's losing oxygen and losing life. We know that ocean ecosystems are changing at record pace. What we do not know might be even more worrisome. For example, we do not know what exactly is happening to the global ocean circulation system and different ocean currents. These are very slow processes, but they're showing signs of disturbance which may herald really bad news. Not tomorrow, not next year, not the next decade, but for an ocean which has fed people and built wealth through centuries, we need to take the long-term view. In 2016, the OECD, the Global Economic Knowledge Hub, launched a report about the ocean economy towards 2030. That was a hugely optimistic report for growing the ocean economy. This year, the OECD again launched a report about the ocean economy towards 2050. That report is not that optimistic because it sees impediments to growth and opportunities in the ocean, not least coming from changes happening to the ocean. More extreme weather causing hazards for shipping, for ports and coastal infrastructure, floods and heat waves affecting ocean and coastal tourism, more harmful algal blooms causing billions of dollars in losses for tourism, aquaculture and fisheries. Now the good news is that the ocean at the same time holds a big part of the solution to climate change, to cleaner energy, cleaner transport, a more circular economy, more sustainable materials, more and better nutrients, and new medicines. We also know that the ocean has an amazing ability to regenerate if we allow it to do so. And the effects of allowing the ocean to regenerate are systemic. The ocean is not compartmentalized. Human society is quite often compartmentalized. The ocean isn't. A mangrove forest can absorb greenhouse gas emissions, boost biodiversity, clean pollutants, and protect coastlines from storm surges all at once. This systemic nature of the ocean lends itself to systemic strategies in ocean industries and investments too. Investments not only in standalone startups, but in portfolios of promise that can emerge when the opportunities of the ocean meet great human minds, human initiative, and human responsibility. So in conclusion, while there is still much to be learned about the ocean, one thing we know for certain is that the ocean is open for healthy business and in need of responsible investment. The Katapult Ocean portfolio is a great place to start. Have a great Investor Day.
When we started Katapult Ocean, we aimed to support ocean health by funding founders who could shift the ocean economy from pollutive extractive practices to sustainable ones. Combining with supporting the ocean innovation ecosystem, the goal was to generate strong returns from positive solutions while attracting more capital to the underfunded ocean sector. Now we have evolved our strategy. We realize that ocean health cannot be restored by funding great companies in isolation. Ocean risks are created and solved by interlocking sectors like energy, shipping, food and finance, of course interacting with nature and society. So, our new ocean system change strategy: invest in reinforcing portfolios. We don't just back standout founders, we design portfolios where companies along the same value chain reinforce each other. For example, funding fuel innovation pulls demand for vessel retrofits, and data innovation drives resilient infrastructure finance. We create flywheels for impact and return. This deliberate design creates compounding growth and measurable impact. And we coordinate and orchestrate with other types of capital, like philanthropic, industrial, and institutional capital. System-aware portfolios reduce the risk associated with single technology investments. They benefit from shared distribution networks and policy support. And they monetize and reinforce environmental benefits that traditional models overlook. As solutions connect, we expect faster adoption, quicker payback, and new asset classes. For example, bankable project supports, verified carbon outcomes, and resilient supply chains. In short, ocean system change is how we turn scattered individual company wins into durable, investable market transformation. With that context, let's walk through how the strategy works and how each of you can plug in.
The ocean, the Earth's greatest natural asset, is under growing threat from the climate crisis, biodiversity loss, and pollution. These forces endanger its ecological balance and its role as an economic engine. Efforts to restore ocean health remain fragmented and too slow. While investment in ocean solutions is increasing, progress lags far behind the systemic transformation required. The planet's challenges are deeply interconnected. Climate, ecosystems, and human activity function as one system. To tackle these issues at scale, the focus must shift from isolated projects to a holistic approach that invests in key levers of systemic change. Systemic investing directs multiple forms of capital toward coordinated strategies that target pressure points within complex systems, driving broad and lasting impact. Unlike traditional funding, which aims for short-term results, systemic investing aligns financial, social, and natural capital to address root causes. It depends on strategic collaboration among diverse actors to build a cohesive funding architecture capable of transforming the ocean economy and securing a sustainable future. Co-created with our old friends at MIT and in partnership with Builders Vision, Katapult Ocean has been using this approach to map key ocean systems and develop a strategy to influence them in the right direction, with the ultimate aim of catalyzing the regeneration of ocean health in line with old and new ocean industries. Instead of scaling isolated solutions, we need to help build portfolios that work hand in hand to reinforce systemic change and impact. To do so, we must first understand the interdependencies and linkages within the ocean system. This includes the ecosystems, sector impacts on the ocean, and the drivers behind these systems. We created a map that highlights clusters of enabling, scalable, and investable solutions for restoring ocean health. It guides stakeholders in building a holistic ocean investment strategy, considering the relationship and dependencies between the ocean system, society, and economic sectors. This approach will be useful for both those developing deep investment theses based on science and those just entering the space. Looking ahead, we want to develop an open access systemic ocean investment strategy that highlights key leverage points within the ocean space. This strategy will support investors and other ocean stakeholders by helping them understand their position and influence within the broader ocean system. A multi-capital strategy broadens value creation by aligning all resources, financial, social, and intellectual, for greater, more efficient impact. This holistic lens overcomes the limits of single capital models and strengthens resilience in tackling global challenges. The planetary crisis demands collective action through systemic investment and strategic collaboration. The Systemic Ocean Investment Strategy will outline targeted actions for each stakeholder group, from VC investors and high net worth individuals to institutional investors and other ocean finance stakeholders, to catalyze a holistic transformation of the ocean system.
And now, what you've been waiting for. With our ocean systems change approach to investing fresh in your minds, let's pass things to the founders, developing some of the solutions that we feel can have a systemic effect on the ocean economy now and into the future. We're thrilled to introduce this year's 13 companies, teams turning ocean-scale problems into practical solutions that are deployable today. In many ways, our 2025 cohort is representative of our most mature group of startups to date, both from a tech point of view and a financial one, with many of the companies well post-revenue and ready for scale. From the building blocks for green hydrogen to enzymes that break down plastics, from PFAS destruction and atmospheric water generation to blue foods that can feed growing demand without stressing our seas and planet. This cohort is built for measurable, plug-and-play impact, offering solutions that not only improve the sustainability profiles of their customers, but can improve their customers' bottom lines as well. All of these different solutions have one shared goal: fostering a healthier relationship with the ocean that powers a resilient and sustainable economy for the future. Our first company is a perfect example of how we can reshape legacy industries with ocean-friendly solutions. Let's dive in.
First up, we have a company focusing on one of the most ubiquitous molecules in the world, and one that the maritime sector in particular could use at scale. Amobia is reimagining how we make ammonia, building modular, near-port green ammonia plants that are faster to deploy, dramatically lower in cost and energy use, and designed to meet the world's growing demand for clean fuel. By tightly integrating the core building blocks of ammonia production, hydrogen, air, heat, and compression, Amobia's technology slashes both CapEx and OpEx, enabling smaller, right-sized plants that can be placed closer to where ammonia is actually needed. Think standard ammonia, made cleaner, cheaper, faster, and closer to demand, powering energy independence and decarbonization across industries, delivering clean fuels for maritime and beyond. Here's Amobia to tell you more.
What do you think of when I say ammonia? I see what you're thinking, that smelly product that my grandmother uses to clean the bathroom. Well, what if I tell you that ammonia could not just clean up your bathroom, but mitigate up to 5% of global greenhouse gas emissions? Hi, I'm Karen Baert, co-founder and CEO at Amobia. Growing up as a sailor on the Belgian North Sea, I developed a strong passion and commitment to decarbonizing our oceans and planet. After a decade of chemical engineering, strategy consulting, startups, MBA, and VC investing, I found the molecule that I wanted to devote my professional life to: ammonia. Ammonia is undercovered, is a really important molecule. It is the second most produced chemical on Earth, and it plays a massive role in our lives because half of the world's population is dependent on ammonia as a fertilizer. Now, it all began 100 years ago when two pretty famous scientists, Haber and Bosch, discovered how to produce ammonia from natural gas and air. This invention absolutely changed the course of history. And that is just the start. Besides its role as a fertilizer today, ammonia can have a much larger impact on our energy industry in the future. Why? Ammonia is the only zero-carbon liquid fuel out there that can be transported and stored cost-effectively. That makes it a great energy carrier to decarbonize the shipping, chemical, and potentially even power industry. And at Amobia, we're working hard to enable that future, developing the lowest cost ammonia production technology out there, as clean as tomorrow needs. Why does that matter? Earlier this year, Technip Energies confirmed that Amobia has a 2x capex advantage compared to the conventional process. This is enabled through the lower pressures, lower temperatures, and higher conversion. We have less equipment, cheaper equipment, it's easier to manufacture, and on top of that, our process is significantly safer. To bring this 100-year-old ammonia industry into the 21st century, we've assembled an all-star team with experienced team members with decades of expertise in the chemical industry and scaling hard-tech startups. We recently closed an $8 million funding round with a great set of strategics across Asia and Europe, and this will enable us to go demonstrate our pilot and lock in customers for our industrial demo. The first system that will be running in the field with a paying customer. We will likely raise an additional around $20 million late next year, and we already have early conversations with VCs who are interested in that round. We hope you're as excited as us about the potential for ammonia and Amobia to feed and fuel our world with clean ammonia. If you'd like to learn more, please come talk to us.
Let's go from the finished fuel to the molecular building blocks. Our next company, Brian Works, turns air and seawater into the two hardest components of e-fuels, clean CO2 and green hydrogen, all in one electrochemical platform designed to ramp with renewables and report every molecule with finance-grade MRV. They make carbon circular. Over to Brineworks to tell you how.
Hi, my name is Guðfinnur and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Brineworks. I was lucky to grow up in Iceland, surrounded by unspoiled nature. As a kid, I took it for granted, but as I got older, I learned how real the threat of global warming is. Every year, we emit roughly 42 gigatons of CO2, which is 80 times the mass of all humans combined. To stay below the 1.5 degree Celsius threshold, we need to cut emissions to close to zero and remove around 10 gigatons of CO2 per year. At Brineworks, we are developing an ultra-low-cost direct air capture technology built for gigaton scale. Other pathways cannot get us there, as point source capture only delays emissions and biogenic CO2 is far too limited in supply. DAC is the only scalable and reliable source of carbon removal. But today, DAC is too expensive. To scale it globally, it has to be truly low cost and mass manufacturable, and that's exactly what we're building at Brineworks. Our electrolyzer innovation enables ultra-low cost electrochemical DAC by cutting capex with abundant materials, lowering OpEx by running on the cheapest intermittent renewables, and by using a modular design built for mass manufacturing anywhere. This gives Brineworks one of the most scalable and cost-effective DAC pathways in development today. My co-founder, Dr. Joseph Perryman, is a Stanford-trained electrochemist specializing in saltwater electrolysis. My background is in climate policy and strategy, with research experience from Columbia University's Earth Institute and experience advising C-suite leaders. Together, we have built an international team of world-class electrochemists, engineers, and business developers here in Amsterdam. Our first pilot has been up and running in Spain for 1 year now. We are currently building a 25-ton per year DAC pilot, which will be operational by year end, and we plan to commission a 1,000-ton per year demo plant by the end of next year. We expect to scale to the first major industrial installations by 2030 and reach mass manufacturing of our systems by 2035. Our CO2 cost path is clear. We will reach below $200 per ton by 2030 and under $100 per ton by 2035, which is among the most competitive in the world. At those prices, we will unlock at-scale e-fuel production and the rapid decarbonization of global shipping. Brineworks is backed by global investors and has secured over $10 million in funding, including from the European Innovation Council. We will raise our Series A funding round in the second half of next year. But if you're interested in carbon removal and the emerging e-fuel sector, please come and find me after this. I'm always happy to connect. Thank you.
All right, so we clean up the fuel supply. Now let's clean up supply chains. Our third company, Living Ink, replaces petropigments used in packaging, clothing and other textiles with algae-based inks and coatings that can integrate seamlessly into today's manufacturing processes. Focusing specifically on carbon black, which is the most used color in the world, Living Ink can deliver a one-to-one replacement to traditional petrochemical-derived alternatives with no harmful additives and a dramatically lower footprint. Their innovative process refines microalgae biomass into stable pigments and blends them into familiar ink formats, so brands can get the plug-and-play performance and a cleaner compliance without retooling. Here's Living Ink with more.
I'm Scott Fulbright. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Living Ink Technologies. As a kid, I spent a lot of time on the water. I even taught sailing during the summers, and that's where I fell in love with the ocean and biodiversity. During my undergrad experience, I studied marine biology, and my first job was in an algal ecology laboratory where we were studying these massive algae blooms down in Florida. This is where I first thought, how do we take this problem of algae growing really fast and turn it into something that benefits society? I went on and worked in the biofuels industry and went to grad school and studied large-scale algae cultivation. Then one day, I was in the greeting card aisle and I thought to myself, where does all this black ink come from? I looked it up, and the black colorant in ink, it comes from carbon black, which is a dry powder which is made from burning heavy petroleum. So about 33 billion pounds produced each year, and that creates significant carbon emissions. So in grad school, I started taking some of that algae that we were growing and started turning it into prototype inks. And we thought to ourselves, if nature can grow this material and these colorants, then why burn petroleum to produce it? While we were on this journey of scaling up, we realized there was billions of tons of biomass waste going to landfill around the world. And this is when we realized that our pigment technology could solve two problems. We could solve a waste problem while also making our high quality carbon black alternative products. So how do we do this? We take biomass, we divert it from the landfill, we put it through a thermal treatment, which is our intellectual property, and then we can make a high quality black powder. We can put that black powder into various liquid inks and colorant concentrates for a variety of applications, from screen printing and packaging inks to even coloring rubbers and plastics. Groups like Nike, New Balance, and Patagonia use our products. The pigment itself is about a 200% carbon reduction compared to petroleum-based carbon blacks, so there's a big sustainability play. At Living Ink, we have a talented, well-rounded team of 10. This includes chemists, engineers, operators, and business developers. They come from leading fashion brands, renewable energy companies, and paint and coating businesses. For the next round of funding at Living Ink Technologies, we continue to scale up our operations and locate near biomass suppliers, so we continue to not only scale, but lower price points that will help with adoption into the marketplace. I'm always telling my team that we have to find the right pieces of the puzzle, and then we have to take the time to put them all together to make the circular economy both profitable and sustainable. We're always looking for amazing partners and collaborators on this journey. We would love to connect if there's interest. Thank you so much.
From cleaner color to actively eliminating contamination. Our next company, Aquaga, tackles pervasive forever chemicals with their hydrothermal alkaline treatment, a sealed reaction that employs water, heat, alkalinity, and high pressure to completely destroy PFAS found in contaminated liquids and sludges. Aquaga's modular system can completely break down the carbon-fluorine chains that make PFAS so resilient on site, leaving behind manageable salts and water as byproducts. This means no trucking, no incineration, no moving the problem down the road. For ports, shipyards, airports, and other industrial sites, Aquaga can deliver peace of mind and take real risk off the books. Here's the team to share more.
PFAS is almost impossible to destroy, but Aquaga can destroy it. PFAS, also called forever chemicals, have been used in numerous industries for 100 years due to their many useful properties. The problem is, these same properties make them virtually indestructible once they enter the environment, particularly the water system. About 25 years ago, we discovered just how toxic PFAS is to humans and animals, and now nearly everyone globally has detectable PFAS levels in their blood. Hi, I'm Dilip Sivam, and I have the best job in the world. I'm the CEO of Aquaga. My 30-year career has spanned the pharmaceutical industry, private equity, power systems decarbonization, venture capital, and now PFAS destruction. My favorite thing about Aquaga is our company's shared commitment to eliminating PFAS from the environment. We have a very determined company, and that's our greatest asset. We make modular PFAS destruction systems for use in industrial and environmental remediation settings. Our systems are inexpensive. We can beat on cost legacy disposal options. Our systems are robust. We can deal with murky water containing co-contaminants and dissolved solids. Our systems are broad spectrum. There are thousands of kinds of PFAS and we can destroy them all, including forms that other technologies struggle with. Our systems are field proven. We've operated out of military bases, industrial facilities, airports, and municipal plants. Aquaga was founded by our CTO, Dr. Brian Pinkard, and COO, Chris Woodruff, in 2020 at the University of Washington, where they were in graduate school for mechanical engineering. I joined in 2024. We're surrounded by a team of 23 engineers, field technicians, operations, sales, and marketing professionals. We have signed a Series A term sheet with a European CVC lead investor, one of the world's oldest, largest, and most influential water services engineering firms. We have a similar relationship with the North American strategic CVC. We're now looking for follow-on investors to fill the round. We'll use that money to execute on our first two long-term commercial projects, an installation at a 3M facility in the United States and a 3-year contract with the state of Colorado. We'll also expand our engineering and sales teams and move into a new facility. Finally, we'll partner with our CVC to move aggressively into the European market. Aquaga is an incredibly capital-efficient company. We've come this far with only $1.6 million in dilutive funding. Despite that small amount of outside investment, we've secured $16 million in revenue. Via our 3M relationship, we'll also have the world's first permanent installation of a PFAS destruction system at an industrial site. In 2026, we'll also have a unit in Europe, running demonstrations and sales with our lead CVC. I look forward to connecting with anyone who's interested in investment or making introductions that can help us on the next phase of our journey. Thank you.
We've talked about cleaning water. Now let's talk about making it anywhere. The founders of Aquaria are turning humidity from the air into reliable, ultra-pure water using a self-sorbent that captures moisture and a gentle burst of low-grade heat to release and condense it. This generation process requires no seawater intake, produces no brine, and can provide fresh water where it's needed most, with modular units that keep communities and industry resilient in the face of ever-increasing drought scenarios, or when the pipes and power stumble. Initially targeting individual residential customers, Aquaria has a vision to stack units that produce enough water for entire developments, or for the increasingly thirsty data centers of the future, removing stress from local reservoirs and other freshwater sources. Now, here's Aquaria to tell you more.
Hello, my name is Brian Shang, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Aquaria. At Aquaria, we're building a new form of clean water infrastructure. Water made from the air around us. And as groundwater becomes unreliable, we're harvesting atmospheric moisture to provide abundant, sustainable, and on-demand water for homes and communities. Today, we rely on large municipal water projects that take years to build and cost an enormous amount of capital. And as extreme weather worsens and disruptions become more common, we need water solutions that are faster, more flexible, and more secure. And we believe the solution comes from the air. At Aquaria, we've built proprietary ambient heat exchange and material technologies that make it possible to produce air water affordably and at scale for the first time. Each Aquaria hydropack is about the size of the table you're watching this video from and can produce more than 1,000 liters of water per day. And just like batteries, hydropacks can be stacked together in parallel to generate and store hundreds of thousands of liters per day. For the first time, you can turn on your tap and drink, shower, and cook with water sourced from the sky. Clean, safe, and water in your control, no matter what happens. Just as batteries and solar panels created resilience and independence for power, Aquaria is now doing the same for water. We envision a future where entire communities and cities are powered by the sun and supplied with water from the sky. And this isn't just a pipe dream. We've built the best team in the world to do this. I wrote my thesis at Princeton on atmospheric water technologies and previously founded a venture studio with more than $4 billion in exits. Our CTO, Jack, has over 30 years of thermal engineering experience and more than 100 patents. And our team brings deep operational expertise from Tesla, Sunrun, Enphase, and more.
This year, in our first year in Texas, we sold out our first generation hydropacks while achieving a $24 million annualized revenue run rate.
We are on track for 10x growth in 2026 while simultaneously achieving profitability. And with that, we've already secured a $100 million credit financing with the US Federal Bank, the first of its kind. Now, we're raising growth equity to pair with that to scale air-water infrastructure across America. We are Aquaria, and if you are interested in revolutionizing the future of life's most precious resource, I'd love to speak with you. Thank you.
Sticking to the themes of water and climate resiliency, Our next company is helping communities that have too much water in the wrong places. Based in Hawaii, Hohonu delivers HOPA local flood intelligence that helps to plan for and respond quickly to disaster. The team is expanding a network of ultrasonic and radar sensors that monitor water levels in real time. The software turns the data into local forecasts and alerts, helping ports and cities to plan closures, evacuation, and to protect properties. With local position that exceeds other public and private sources, Hohonu can provide customers such as local government and insurance companies an ability to plan their storm response and to build flood resilience in higher risk areas, saving both lives and property in the process. To tell you more, here's Hohonu.
Aloha everyone, I'm Brian Glazer, and I've lived in Hawaii for the past 21 years, where I'm an oceanography professor at the University of Hawaii and co-founder and CEO of Hohonu. We launched Hohonu to commercialize technologies developed in my lab over the past decade, and we've grown to operations today at over 200 locations where we enable real-time data to provide better flood monitoring, alerting, and predictions. We help solve a problem that every community living near water faces. We can't manage or predict flood risk if we can't see it in real time and quantify impacts of events to better plan for future protection. Over $7 trillion of US homes are at significant flood risk today, and around the world, traditional flood gauges are large, scarce, and cost prohibitive to deploy in new locations. In the face of accelerating intensity and frequency of flooding events, that's no longer sufficient. Too many flood mitigation and adaptation decisions are still built on coarse models and too few sensors. That's slow, risky, and it's almost always too late. Hohonu installs low-cost sensors exactly where decisions need to be made, and our data is reliable and trusted by local, state, and federal agencies. Our impact is already visible today, with scientists, governments, and the public using our data daily and during high-impact events like Hurricanes Helene and Milton in Florida last year. By 2030, we believe we can save billions in unnecessary flood spending by deploying sensors and prediction analytics at 10,000 sites around the world. I've spent my career building observation networks that stand up to harsh environments and produce defensible science. Kevin's expertise is in operationalizing hardware and software technologies with experience from company founding to IPO. Together, we've built a team of experts in ruggedizing hardware, developing climate and weather forecasts, and selling climate data to enterprises. We've raised $4 million to date, and over the past 2 years, we've doubled ARR every 6 months, reaching $500K today, with additional verbal commitments reaching $1 million. Over the next 18 months, we'll be expanding statewide government networks in key regions and landing paid deployments with major property developers and critical infrastructure operators. We're not raising an investment round today, but we expect to open a Series A in 2026 with multi-million ARR and anchor customers from across government and enterprise. Flooding is a global problem, but resilience starts locally. Our sensors make that possible anywhere in the world by scaling partnerships with governments, NGOs, corporate partners to build the data layer for climate resilience. If that resonates with you, or if you would like to see how this could work in your region, please reach out to chat.
Rounding out our group of water-focused companies this year, we turn to a team tackling not too much or too little water, but something hidden within it. Our next company is Blue Methane. As the name hints, they've developed a system that captures methane, a powerful greenhouse gas, dissolved in reservoirs and wastewater around the world long before it escapes into the atmosphere. Blue Methane's technology turns what would otherwise be a climate problem into an opportunity, recovering this gas to generate energy, earn carbon credits, and help their customers run more compliant, efficient operations. Their modular system gently removes methane from the water, while sensors and controls keep operations stable, giving utilities both measurable climate impact and added value from a gas they used to lose. To share more about how their technology works, here is Blue Methane.
Blue Methane was born from an article in The Guardian that revealed the staggering scale of methane emissions from liquids, but no one was tackling it. That moment changed everything. So Nesta and I built a company with one goal: to capture methane from liquids before it escapes into the atmosphere. Today, we help industries turn a hidden liability into compliance, profit and climate progress. Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas, far more potent than carbon dioxide, yet it receives far less attention. It escapes from liquid waste in sectors like energy, water utilities and food processing. Even when biogas is produced, a significant amount of methane is still left behind, wasting green energy and causing avoidable emissions. Until now, there hasn't been a practical way to capture this leftover methane or a business model to make it worthwhile. Blue methane changes that with our mission to prevent 1 billion tonnes of emissions from liquids. We have 3 technical capabilities. The first is we measure exactly how much methane is trapped in waste streams using our proprietary diagnostic tool that's never existed before. Secondly, our patent-pending technology that captures methane and returns it as usable energy, boosting margins and reducing emissions. And thirdly, we stop new methane from forming in the same waste, using a novel chemical process that eliminates future emissions. Since 2021, we've moved from concept to a full-scale system now operating in the UK, with 2 more units being installed in January. We've secured partnerships with major UK water companies, in fact covering 8 out of 11 UK water companies under 1 commercial agreement. That's traction that is rare at our stage. Our founding team brings together expertise in engineering, science, finance and commercialization. We're 10 people, including PhDs in relevant fields and top advisors. We've deployed our first units and are scaling for 2026. To support this, we're raising equity and debt, with our next round opening in March. Our target is to have 25 methane capture units deployed by the end of 2026. When we hit this milestone, by 2027, we'll have prevented 10,000 tonnes of CO2 equivalent and generated $24 million in revenue. One man's trash is blue methane's treasure. We capture the methane others miss. A small detail with huge commercial and environmental impact. If you want to turn overlooked waste into real value, talk to us. Thank you.
From methane capture to true circularity in plastics, our next company is trying to reshape the recycling industry. The team at Birch Biosciences is using generative AI and advanced enzyme engineering to completely depolymerize PET back to pristine monomers at speeds and temperatures that realistically can scale to industrial production. Think of the team as having developed a range of protein keys that unlock difficult chains which form plastics, cleanly enabling 100% closed-loop recycling with better economics and a smaller footprint than harsher chemical or mechanical routes, which largely don't achieve one-to-one recyclability. The resultant monomers can be dropped directly into plastic manufacturing plants, encouraging industry adoption and reducing the need for virgin monomers. Here's the team at Birch Bio to share more about their solution.
Hi, my name is Johan Kurz, co-founder and CEO of Birch Biosciences. At Birch, we believe that enzymes are the future of plastic recycling. Today, we do a terrible job recycling plastic. Globally, we spend more than $600 billion a year on plastic resin, but we recycle very little of this material, less than 10%. Too much of our plastic ends up in landfills, in the environment, or in the ocean where it doesn't belong. That's why we started Birch, to fundamentally change how plastics are recycled and to bring plastics into the circular economy. Imagine a world where plastic recycling is as easy as dissolving sugar in water. Using the power of AI-designed enzymes, we're making this a reality. Our enzymes act like molecular scissors to break down plastic polymers into small chemical building blocks that can dissolve in water. We've spent the last 3 years building a technology platform that uses AI foundation models to design high-performance enzymes that scale in a simplified, low-energy plastic recycling process. We don't need to remove labels, lids, and wrappers when we recycle plastic. We simply grind out plastic and mix it with enzymes. These enzymes function in hot water and break down long polymer chains into small chemical building blocks that can easily be recovered, purified, and are a drop-in replacement for manufacture of 100% recycled resin that has the same cost and performance as plastic manufactured from fossil fuels, all while reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 70%. Our platform technology can be used to design enzymes and recycling processes for other high-value, high-volume polymers, including plastic materials that aren't normally recycled, like textiles and furniture and automobiles. We'll create demand for these non-recycled plastics and lower the environmental burden of plastics on our environment. Birch is led by Emily, Miles, and myself, and are advised by experts in the plastics and chemicals industry. Plastic recycling is a very hard problem to solve. Our team has the unique combination of technical skill, scale-up, and commercialization experience to fundamentally change how we will recycle plastic. To date, Birch has raised $6.5 million in both venture capital and grant funding to support development of our recycling process, as well as $80 million in letters of intent from major plastic manufacturing and packaging companies. We're currently raising a $5 million seed round to support scale-up of our technology to recycle 1 ton of plastic per day, which will enable us to start supplying our customers with recycled plastic. We'll also build out a larger catalog of enzymes to support future company growth. Plastics are one of the major unsolved sustainability issues. We're looking for investors and commercial partners for this next phase of growth. Please reach out if you're interested in learning more.
If Birch performance without toxic trade-offs caught your attention, you want to tune in for our next startup as well. Based out of Florida, the team at Source has developed a plant and algae-based nanocellulose additives that enhance the capabilities of composite materials, often replacing PFAS-type chemistries while improving recyclability in the process. At the nanoscale, Source cellulose fibers weave a microscopic mesh, improving adhesion and strength the connective tissue that holds composites and other materials together. The team's products are a drop-off replacement that manufacturers can readily use and have applications across maritime, aerospace, construction, and packaging. Most notably, Source's products provide premium performance at a fraction of the cost, paving the way for further commoditization of the clean materials they use in their formulations, most prominently seaweed. In fact, they already happen to be working with another of our portfolio companies as a supplier. With that, we're excited to introduce you to Source, who can tell you more.
Hi everyone, my name is Derek, and I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Source. Quick question to start. Do you think plant-based materials can help build roads, cars, and even aircraft? We get that question asked a lot. And as a material engineer, I spent the past decade questioning the way we build things and developing high-performance materials. Think of heat shields and satellite components used by those of NASA and SpaceX. Over the years, I spent time working in the advanced materials research labs, building some of the strongest materials on the planet. But out in the real world, problems are a little more complex, where just being strong isn't enough. It's about long-term durability. To put numbers onto it, automakers are facing tens of billions of dollars in warranty repairs each year, and cities are spending billions in fixing roads and cracks to critical infrastructure. And trying to replace all these materials with different, newer materials isn't realistic because it would cost a fortune and the requalification times would take forever. So we decided to change that and instead enhance the existing materials that we have today. At Source, we're answering that question and making plant-based materials build things like cars, roads, and planes. We do this by turning biomass feedstocks like invasive sargassum and underutilized elephant grass into nanocellulose, a liquid additive that is 10,000 times thinner than a human hair and 8 times stronger than steel. We use it to make manufactured parts lighter, stronger, and cheaper to produce. We do this by adding our nanocellulose onto advanced materials like carbon fiber composites, which can increase their strength of automotive parts by upwards of 40%, allowing them to design lighter, more energy-efficient vehicles. We also use our nanocellulose as an additive into common commodity materials like cement and concrete to increase strength by nearly 20%, leading to massive reduction in materials, cost, and overall emissions. Our founding team has been working closely together for almost 10 years now, facing countless challenges and overcoming all of them with one simple phrase: keep moving forward. Over the years, we've put together an amazing team of PhD scientists and business development experts who have taken technologies from benchtop ideas to fully acquired businesses. So we feel poised and ready for our next phase of growth. To date, we've sold material to over 50 different customers spanning 3 different continents and have more than 10 active pilots with sites to over 25 million in recurring revenue once passing commercial qualifications with current customers. Our next phase is to move into our industrial pilot facility and begin scaling our production to tonnage capacity. If you would like to be part of our story of building the largest nanocellulose company on the planet, reach out to us. Source's success means a future where we build with nature to transition the world into the advanced future. Thank you.
Based out of North Carolina, our next company, Atlantic Fish, has pioneered a way to grow mussel cells in full suspension culture, a true unlock for scaling alternative protein production as our oceans remain overfished and aquaculture continues to struggle with sustainability. Atlantic Fish's true innovation centers around the ability to proliferate myoblasts, essentially cells that differentiate into mussel freely in standard bioreactors, making the growth process far more akin to mainstream fermentation as opposed to boutique expensive tissue engineering. Starting with whitefish, but already proven to be species agnostic, Atlantic Fish has a credible path to reaching cost parity with today's whitefish fillets and is making significant progress in all of the key metrics it will need to do so, such as speeding up cell doubling rates, improving cell density, and decreasing their growth media costs. In the interim, the company has verified IP that food brands are interested to license, giving them working capital as they scale production. Here's Atlantic Fish to tell you more about their blue food of the future.
My name is Doug Grant. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Atlantic Fish Co. We're using cellular agriculture to create the world's most sustainable, cultivated seafood. The ocean's always been a big part of my life. I grew up fishing with my dad on the Gulf Coast and started scuba diving when I was 13. Later, I joined the US Navy as a helicopter pilot, flying above oceans all over the world. But today, the oceans that I love are in trouble. 90% of our wild-caught fisheries are overfished or harvested at max capacity. 370 million metric tons of CO2 emissions every year from trawling the ocean floor for seafood. On top of this, we know we're going to have to make twice as much seafood to feed our growing population in the next 25 years. We have to find new solutions to supplement the $400 billion industry comprised of wild-caught and aquaculture with a third pillar of seafood production, cellular agriculture. This technology has the capability to produce a virtually unlimited amount of sustainable seafood. Now let me be clear, this is not plant-based seafood and we do not raise fish in tanks, but it is real seafood. Here's how it works. We take a small biopsy from a fish and develop a cell line. Those cells are grown in a nutrient-rich broth which has all the same salts and amino acids they would need to grow in the fish's body. They are then scaled up in large metal vessels, very similar to a fermentation tank, and the end result is real seafood. Now what separates us from other competitors in this space is a technology called Aptura, our patent-pending platform to produce scalable, low-cost mussel in seafood production. Now, why is this important? Why start with mussel? Mussel is what gives seafood products the taste and texture for true center-of-plate proteins. It's the difference between frozen fish sticks in your grocery store versus going out for a nice fillet at a seafood restaurant. That's why we're starting with our first product, VistaCut, a cultivated black sea bass fillet with no mercury, no microplastics, no antibiotics, no hormones for the health-conscious consumer. And we're going to sell this product directly to seafood distributors and restaurant chefs. But that's just the first step of a much larger vision. Because with Aptura, we're not limited to just black sea bass. We can grow mussel cells for any fish or meat species. This positions us extremely well, not just to win the premium whitefish market, but to license this technology to other meat and seafood producers to win the global seafood and meat industry. This is the foundational layer for what's going to be a huge market in the United States that's already growing. Because in the US, we have regulatory clarity. In the last year, we've had 3 cultivated companies receive FDA clearance for their products. We've timed some of them, closing our seed round this past October And last month, we received a $300,000 grant, bringing our non-dilutive funding to over $1 million. We're building the third pillar of seafood production for the 21st century. If you share our passion for this mission, please reach out to me.
Now let's dive back into the ocean to explore how seaweed can help feed the world. Our next company, Healthy Seaweed Cafe, is using seaweed to bring community-first nutrition to sub-Saharan Africa and beyond. Based in Tanzania, Healthy Seaweed Cafe partners directly with female seaweed farmers to bring a traceable, homegrown value chain, buying harvests, offering training and inputs, and transforming raw seaweed into gels, powders, and ready-to-drink products that improve both diets and household incomes. Simple processing, big impact. Real jobs, strengthening coastal communities, unlocking nutritious, climate-resilient food source are what makes this company stand out from others in the space, contributing to their early success. Let's hear directly from the Healthy Seaweed Cafe team.
Hi, my name is Nancy Raba, a marine scientist, co-founder and CEO at Healthy Seaweed Company Limited, also known as the Seaweed Queen. 5 years ago, I was in Zanzibar researching the effects of climate change on seaweed, and what I saw forever changed my perspective. I saw hundreds of women working tirelessly in the ocean farming seaweed, yet facing market uncertainties for their produce. For over 3 decades, women in Tanzania have been doing seaweed farming as the vital part of their livelihood, employing over 30,000 women. Seaweed farming is a low-emission, carbon-absorbing practice and climate-positive solution. We are supporting 25 hectares of regenerative seaweed farming, which sequesters a total of 300 tons of carbon annually. However, 99% of the seaweed produced in the country is exported while raw to the Western countries through the use of the middlemen, making the women having low negotiation power, which leads to low income, making them earning less than $1 a day. Despite the immense health benefits of seaweed, there was little to no value addition that was happening in the country. This realization is what led to the creation of Healthy Seaweed Company Limited, a seaweed for food venture born to address twin problems of nutrition and market access to the women seaweed farmers. We provide reliable market access directly by off-taking the seaweed to the women we have partnered with. Through our innovation, we are transforming seaweed into diverse, nutritious, and accessible foods, promoting healthier diets, while empowering 383 women seaweed farmers. Our partnership with the farmers has increased their income from less than $30 a month to $80 a month, and we are aiming at reaching $200 a month per farmer by 2028. We are the first seaweed for food brand in East Africa to receive National Food Safety Certification with B Corp certification underway. We have a strong social and environmental agenda. Since going fully operational in 2022, we have generated close to $400,000 in revenue, and we're expecting to reach $1.5 million in 2026. Our team is uniquely positioned to execute this solution as we have expertise in building similar ventures from ground up, expertise in food and innovation technology, women economic empowerment, business development, as well as market expansion, reflecting our commitment to creating meaningful opportunities to those who are often left behind. We are currently raising $2 million in seed stage to unlock $1 million plus in catalytic grants and triple our production for scaling. I welcome you to join us. I am the Seaweed Queen, and I would love to meet you at the table.
Healthy seaweed needs healthy oceans to grow. And our next company is providing just this with verified coral restoration methods. With a growing footprint in both Asia, Middle East, and North Africa, Araki Reef blends biomimetic 3D printed terracotta reef tiles with professional grade MRV platforms compliant with a variety of international reporting standards. The company's tiles geometry calms currents and creates micro nooks where coral can settle and thrive, producing survivorship up to 88% in existing projects and providing higher fish abundance in the areas surrounding the restoration projects. Tied to the restoration is scheduled re-imaging and analytics to track coral settlement, growth, and habitat complexity, so cities, businesses, and project developers can buy verified biodiversity outcomes with trustworthy reporting. Generating millions of revenues to date, this model has clearly been appealing. To shed more light on their solution, here's our key reef.
Marine ecosystems are dying fast. Corals, for example, will be gone by the end of the century, followed by many others. This is causing a major concern among the world's asset owners, insurers, and corporations. And that is because they now need to align a lot more with environmental regulation on the one hand, whilst also protecting their assets that have risk related to the ocean. At Archireef, we help companies manage both of those things under one roof. Across 4 different segments, we help clients to align better with environmental regulation and at the same time manage their ocean-related risk. We do risk and opportunity identification. We do mitigation through nature-based solutions that we develop ourselves. We monitor those solutions. We then report into globally recognized frameworks. Today, we work with some of the largest corporations across Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Singapore, and Hong Kong, and help these corporations achieve that alignment as well as manage their risk. With that, over the last few years, we've been able to deliver significant revenue back to our company. We went from $140,000 in annual revenue in 2021 to over $10 million this year. But it's not just those revenues. Our products and services have delivered real results to our clients. For example, through our coral reef tiles, we've been able to do coral restoration for our clients and deliver biodiversity net gains upwards of a 60% uplift in biodiversity within just 1 year. We've also been able to achieve high survivorship rates across all of our nature-based solution deployments, and we've been amongst the leaders as far as the product performance is concerned. Our founding team is a mix of commercial minds and scientists. My name is Dennis Tekrek, and I am the co-founder and chief commercial officer at Archireef. My role is to turn science into commercially viable products. My co-founders on this journey are Rico and David, who provide the scientific foundation of the company. Today, we are raising a $6 million Series A, of which 25% is already committed. This will allow us to continue investing in R&D, to scale our production capabilities, and to deliver the science that we need to deliver at a commercialized level. Thank you very much for your time, and I would appreciate if you joined us on our journey to deliver 125 hectares worth of restoration across our world's oceans by 2030.
Archireef is restoring corals, but the ocean surface, particularly on ports and marinas, needs some TLC as well. And that's where our final company of the day comes in, with their unique solution to autonomously manage ocean pollution. Also hailing from Asia, Clearbird is building and deploying fully electric, AI-guided autonomous vessels that scoop floating trash and invasive weeds while logging each pickup with computer vision and GPS, turning cleanup into a zero-emission, data-driven service. Quiet, persistent fleets self-dock at solar charging stations and give ports MRV-ready records and heat maps, so every pass gets smarter and every contract proves impact. So, with significant early sales and looking to scale further, here is Clearbird to run out our 2025 batch of accelerator companies.
Hi, I'm Utkarsh.
Hi, I'm Siddhant,
co-founder of Clear Robotics.
We build electric, unmanned boats and ships that do dull, dirty, and dangerous work in the ocean.
Marine operators today are using old diesel boats and manual labor to do traditional marine work. This work is not only really difficult to do, but it's also quite dangerous.
And this future is simply not sustainable because in the age of AI, most young people don't want to be deckhands on boats.
And with the emission norms catching up, the operators are looking to make an upgrade.
That's where we come in. At Clear Robotics, our flagship product ClearBot is an unmanned electric boat system that can be operated at the press of a button.
Our boats are fully electric, which means 90% lesser fuel consumption and a complete emissions-free operation compared to diesel engines.
First of all, a single person can operate multiple boats and ships with our system, which means productivity is at an all-time high with what we do and cost is at an all-time low.
We specialize in cleaning pollution from water bodies such as floating garbage, oil, algae, vegetation, and so on. We work mostly at ports, shorelines, and inland waterways across Southeast Asia today. We conduct hydrographic surveys using our USVs as well, and we are running pilots for use cases such as draft surveys at operators as big as Adani ports, who operate the largest port in India. We are providing a marine boat platform for our customers, allowing them to use the same vessel to do many different jobs.
Why that? Because of our in-house patented tech, which includes the ability to see objects in the water better than anyone else, drive around better than anyone else, and also self-dock and park our machine and charge our machine without a human operator being there on site.
Our fleet is insured and we have approvals for LR and IR class, making us one of the few in the world that have it for self-driving boats. We provide our boats as a service to our customers, and we are generating an average revenue of $60,000 per year per boat, with a 55% gross profit margin. We are on track to do $1 million in revenue this year. We have a world-class team to deliver on this vision.
Me and my co-founder, we have a Forbes 30 under 30. We actually hold a Guinness World Record for building the world's fastest robotic fish. So you can trust us with building robots for the water. And our business team consists of Sanjeev, who's had 30 years of experience doing accounting work for Citibank, and Chris, who actually built the Yahoo Asia business.
We have the vision to become the largest unmanned boat and ship operator in the next 5 years.
And we're currently raising a round, and we're at 80% close. We're looking for that last 20%. And if you're keen to join this vision, to join this business, please find us later.
We hope you enjoyed meeting our 2025 portfolio. 13 teams building practical solutions for a healthier ocean and a thriving ocean economy. This is what systems-level innovation looks like in action. We're proud to back these founders, and we love to help you taking them further, faster, and higher. Your engagement is what turns these innovations into real outcomes. With that in mind, here comes the most important part of the day. Please jump into the different rooms to meet these great founders. Each team will be available in the breakout rooms for the next 30 minutes. So drop in, say hello, ask some questions, maybe invest with them. We hope this can be where the contracts, partnerships, growth, and the new investments can begin. On behalf of the entire Katapult Ocean team here in Norway, Europe, Singapore, and Cape Town, thanks a lot for making impact with us. Tusen takk og god jul.